A major rift has emerged in global politics, surrounding the escalating tensions between the United States, Israel, and Iran. Today, we break down the high-stakes conversation that has shaken the international community. The long-standing relationship between the U.S. and Israel is under scrutiny, following a tense discussion regarding the conflict with Iran, sparking a major international debate. At the center of this are U.S. President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, key allies who suddenly found themselves at loggerheads. Reports indicate a remarkably tense conversation took place between the two leaders, focused entirely on the escalating situation involving Iran. The discussion lasted for nearly an hour, underscoring the gravity and urgency of the decisions facing both nations regarding the Iran conflict. Crucially, sharp disagreements emerged on several major issues, revealing a division in strategy between Washington and Jerusalem. Prime Minister Netanyahu's stance was clear. He demanded immediate and much stronger military action against Iran. Netanyahu explicitly called for a rapid and decisive military response, believing the current window for action is closing. He warned President Trump that failing to take immediate action now could turn out to be a, quote, major mistake with severe future consequences. Netanyahu's primary concern is Iran's continuous increase in strength, suggesting that if they are not stopped in time, the situation will become far more dangerous. In contrast, President Trump took a measured approach, prioritizing the diplomatic track over immediate military engagement. Trump supported giving diplomacy and negotiations more time, arguing that a negotiated solution should remain the priority. The president reportedly believed that diplomatic options should not be considered completely exhausted before resorting to military force. His desire was to keep the possibility of a negotiated solution alive, despite the mounting pressure for aggressive action. The aftermath of this intense discussion quickly became a major talking point in international politics. U.S. officials observing the situation noted that Netanyahu appeared extremely angry and frustrated after the conversation. One official's memorable quote, "Bibi's hair was on fire," highlighted the prime minister's evident concern and fury, capturing worldwide attention. This remark suggested that the internal differences between the United States and Israel on the Iran issue may be deeper than previously known. Despite public statements affirming their strong relationship, reports of these disagreements behind closed doors have raised many questions internationally. The contradiction between their publicly strong alliance and private discord indicates a major movement in international politics regarding the Iran conflict. The world watches closely as these two powerful allies navigate their differing views on the urgent challenge posed by Iran. A significant divergence in strategy towards Iran is emerging between the U.S. and Israel, raising questions about the future of their approach to the region. Reports highlight a growing policy divergence between Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu and U.S. leadership regarding how to handle Iran. Netanyahu maintains a firm stance, advocating for an aggressive approach to neutralize perceived threats from Iran. He continues to support further airstrikes aimed at weakening Iran's military sites and its nuclear program. Netanyahu believes that if international pressure on Iran is reduced, the country could succeed in rebuilding its military and nuclear strength. In contrast, Trump's administration is currently exploring diplomatic solutions and negotiation to manage the situation. Trump wants to determine whether the situation can still be managed effectively through negotiations, rather than immediate military action. The goal is to assess any possibility of reaching an agreement with Iran before making any significant military decisions. This difference in strategy between Netanyahu and Trump is becoming increasingly visible on the international stage. The growing divergence in strategy could become even more critical in the coming days, impacting global stability. Amidst the tension, reports suggest that other countries are actively working to de-escalate the situation between the U.S. and Iran. Countries such as Qatar and Pakistan are reportedly trying to reduce tensions, playing an active role in preventing war. Discussions are underway regarding a possible agreement, which could include a plan to pause the conflict for nearly 30 days and continue nuclear talks. The United States and Israel have remained close allies for a long time, collaborating on many international issues. This strong alliance has seen both countries work together extensively across various international fronts. However, differences in their strategies regarding Iran have appeared from time to time, exposing underlying policy variations. The recent tense conversation between Trump and Netanyahu highlights the critical nature of this strategic divide. Netanyahu views Iran as its biggest threat, consistently favoring extremely strict action against the country. The United States, on the other hand, has often explored diplomatic solutions alongside military options in the region. This latest tense conversation has once again exposed these persistent differences before the world, making the call highly significant in international politics. The strategic relationship between the U.S. and Israel is facing unprecedented strain, and the world is taking notice. We delve into the global implications of this growing rift. Political experts around the globe are calling this development extremely serious, highlighting the potential for widespread instability. Continued differences in strategy between the U.S. and Israel could significantly impact the entire Middle East situation, a region already fraught with tension. Any major decision in this scenario could affect international security and poses significant economic risks for global markets. The growing strategic divergence directly affects international security, given the high-stakes environment of the Middle East. From the oil market to global trade, international business could be heavily influenced by the escalating strategic differences. Many countries are closely monitoring the situation, recognizing the immediate pressure for a clear strategic direction. Experts believe the coming few days are crucial, as they will determine the path forward for the two nations. The outcome will decide whether diplomacy moves forward, seeking reconciliation, or if tensions escalate further into a crisis. There is intense discussion across social and international media regarding the closed-door conversation that reportedly intensified the tension between the two leaders. People want to know what exactly transpired behind closed doors to cause such a noticeable strain in the relationship. Reports suggest that Trump currently prefers to avoid a major war, emphasizing a more cautious approach to the conflict. In contrast, other reports claim that Netanyahu believes strong action is necessary at this stage to address the evolving threats. The entire world is currently focused on the geopolitical triangle and what will happen next between the United States, Israel, and Iran. Global attention is fixed on the next strategic moves of the United States and Israel, as their actions will have broad consequences. The tense conversations have made it clear that the situation is far from normal, and major decisions could be imminent. The ultimate outcome hinges on whether diplomacy can prevail over the rising tide of tensions and potential conflict. People around the world are hoping that diplomacy and negotiations will succeed in reducing tensions and avoiding a large-scale war. However, the continuous emergence of strong statements and strategies suggests that this issue could become even more serious in the days to come. The world watches closely,